Welcome to Matchday Asia. It's time for the round of 16 in the AFC Champions League, and we're going to be looking at what we can expect from the games that are going to be coming your way over the next couple of days. We've got 4 games to look ahead to, 8 teams to cover, so let's get into it. So the first round of 16 match we'll be looking at is between Group E winners Beijing FC and Group F runners-up FC Tokyo. Now Beijing FC stormed into the round of 16 after going through the group stage unbeaten. In that process, they picked up a club record 5 ACL wins in a row before a 1-0 draw against Shanghai United on Matchday 6 saw their 100% record come to an end. But the 16 points they picked up in the group stage is another club record that they've managed to achieve in this season's campaign. Now, it will be Beijing FC's 4th appearance in the round of 16, but it's a stage that they've not been able to overcome in their previous appearances, and they'll be looking to correct that and go 3 for 3 in terms of setting a new club record in this campaign by getting into the quarterfinals. Beijing FC are a side who enjoy keeping the ball and passing it out from the back. They average about 60% possession in their 5 matches in Qatar so far. They've also displayed a flexibility in their tactical setup in the group stage matches, going with the 4-diamond-2, a 4-3-2-1, and even a back 5 in their recent game against Shanghai United. Now, they generally look to control the midfield areas with numbers in the central positions. The likes of Renato Augusto, Zhang Shite, Fernando, and Jonathan Vieira look to dominate games from those areas of the pitch. Now, Vieira has been at his creative best with an ACL leading 4 assists to go along with his 14 chances created. They've also scored 12 goals so far with contributions from 6 different players, but Alan is their top scorer with 3 goals. Now, the quality of their squad gives Bruno Genesio plenty of options with his approach to matches, and he'll be hoping that they can step up to the plate once again when they come up against an FC Tokyo side who will be making their 3rd appearance in the round of 16. Now, just like Beijing, FC Tokyo have never made it beyond this stage of the competition, but they got here after navigating their way through a tricky group and secured their passage through with a 1-0 win over Perth Glory on Matchday 6. Now, there could be an interesting clash of styles in this game between the two sides, as FC Tokyo are perhaps even more comfortable when they're playing on the counter-attack. They aren't as possession-hungry as Beijing FC, with FC Tokyo averaging about 48% possession from their 4 matches in Qatar. Now, they seem to start their matches in a 4-2-3-1 shape, but their average formations have varied between a 4-3-3 and a 4-4-2, with most of their attacks coming from the wider areas of the pitch. Now, FC Tokyo scored 6 goals and conceded 5 in the group stage, with Leandro and Adeilton their top scorers on 2 goals each. Leandro has been in good form for his side with 14 chances created so far, and he'll probably be supporting Kensuke Naga in attack with Masato Morishige and Shuto Abe sitting in behind them in midfield. FC Tokyo and Beijing FC have met twice previously in the Champions League back in 2012, with FC Tokyo winning one and drawing the other. Now, incredibly, this will be the 3rd time that FC Tokyo will come up against a Chinese side in a round of 16 after falling to Guangzhou Evergrande in 2012 and then Shanghai SIPG in 2016. They'll be hoping it's 3rd time lucky against Beijing FC in 2020. So the next match we're going to be looking at is Ulsan Hyundai against Melbourne Victory. Now, the K-League runners-up Ulsan have been in solid form in Qatar, and just like Beijing FC, they've also made it into the round of 16 on the back of a 6-match unbeaten run in the group stage, having won their last 5 in a row. The 2012 AFC Champions League winners are also the top scorers in the East Zone with 14 goals scored across their 6 matches, and all this has meant that they've now made it into the last 16 in 3 consecutive seasons of the AFC Champions League. They have, however, failed to make it past the round of 16 in their last 2 campaigns, losing out to Suwon Bluewings in 2018 and then the Urawa Reds in 2019. Now, the 2019 defeat to Urawa also came after Ulsan topped their group, so this Ulsan side will hopefully have learned their lessons from that campaign as they look to avoid a repeat of that scenario this time around. Now, Kim Do-hoon's side normally set up in a 4-2-3-1 shape, although they have used a 4-3-3 in a couple of games so far. But whatever he decides to go with, they have plenty of quality in the squad with Sin Jin Ho and Yoon Bit Garam controlling play from the center of the park. Now, Yoon Bit Garam himself is having a fantastic campaign. He's got 4 goals to his name in the competition, along with his 14 chances created for his side. Wondu Jae could also come into the side after featuring against Perth on Matchday 6, and the Ulsan squad will also be strengthened by the return of Kim Tae-hwan and Jung Seung-hoon to support Dave Bultui in defence. In the attacking areas, Kim In-sung and Lee Chung-yong will probably line up either side of Junior Negao, who is having a fine season. He's got 2 ACL goals so far to go along with the 26 he scored in the K-League this season. Now, they've been able to make several changes to their side throughout the campaign in Qatar, so they should be headed into the knockouts in good shape. Their opponents, Melbourne Victory, will be featuring in just their second round of 16 match after their first appearance back in 2016. Now, they can be really pleased with their performances and results in this campaign so far. They've come into this competition in the preseason phase of their preparations with a new coach in Grant Brebner. They've got several new signings in there. It's taken a little bit of time to gel, but the 4-time A-League champions have certainly exceeded expectations, and they went into their last group stage game needing a win against FC Seoul to qualify for the knockouts. They delivered exactly that with a 2-1 win, having managed only 2 shots on target from a total of 5 in that game. Now, without a recognised centre forward in the side, the likes of Ben Falami, Jake Brimmer and Marco Rojas have helped to carry the team in the attacking positions, with Brimmer leading the scoring charts for them with his 2 goals, both coming from the penalty spot. Now, Melbourne have tended to start matches in a 4-4-2, but they do have some fluidity in the forward positions, with Falami, Rojas, Brimmer and McManaman at times interchanging and varying their positions in the attacking phases of the game. Lee Broxham and Jacob Butterfield have been solid in the middle of the park for Melbourne, and they have the capacity to trouble sides with their speed and intelligence of movement on the counter-attack. Now, these 2 sides have also met twice previously in the Champions League, both games coming in the group stage back in 2018, with Ulsan having the upper hand after picking up a win and a draw from that campaign. So the third game in the round of 16 sees Japan's Vissel Kobe coming up against China's Shanghai SIPG in what will be the first ever meeting between these 2 sides in the Champions League. Vissel sealed their place in the round of 16 very early on in Qatar as they beat Guangzhou Evergrande 3-1 in their first match since the restart of the competition. That gave them 6 points in the group, which was enough to see them through into the knockouts and even finish top of the group despite losing their next 2 games in the return match against Guangzhou and then Suwon. It's been a bit of a strange situation for Vissel in that regard, with qualification sewn up. Their head coach Atsuhiro Miura has experimented with a few different formations, going with a 3-5-2, a 4-4-2 and a 4-1-4-1 in their recent match against Suwon. Now, he has made several lineup changes to keep his key players well rested for the knockouts. Despite the changes though, they tend to use their left flank in the majority of their attacking moves, with an average of 41.7% of their attacks coming down that side of the pitch. And that's likely to continue in the knockout stages, with Andres Iniesta preferring to run games from an inside left channel on that area of the pitch. Now, he has shown his quality in his appearances so far, and Vissel will rely on his ability to change games for them. He's also got good players in support on the left side as well, with Gotoku Sakai and Kyogo Furuhashi generally stationed on that part of the pitch. Vissel are also a side who like to keep the ball, averaging 60% possession in their 3 games since the restart. So that should make this another interesting aspect to look out for in this game against Shanghai SIPG. They employ a different style in the Champions League this season, and their head coach Vito Pereira has previously spoken about employing more of a deeper sitting, lower block counter-attacking style, and combining that with squad rotation. He's wanted to use that to help maintain the fitness levels of his players throughout this competition. They've gone with several different starting formations ranging from a 5-4-1, a 4-4-2 and even a 4-2-3-1, and they've averaged about 37% possession in their 6 games since the restart. Now, SIPG do like to use their flanks in the attacking transitions, and their delivery from the wider positions have been of a very high quality, as evidenced by their headed goals against Sydney FC and Yokohama Marinos. Now, one of their key players has been Ricardo Lopez, whose pace and intelligence of movement has been effectively utilised in this counter-attacking style, while Lee Sheng Long has also contributed with 3 goals so far. In addition to that, having the likes of Oscar in the squad will certainly provide SIPG with that game-changing quality on an individual level. In terms of form, both these sides have lost their last 2 games in the competition, so it'll be interesting to see if that has an impact in this round of 16 clash between 2 sides with varying styles of play. So let's move on to the final game in the round of 16 now, as the 2019 J1 champions Yokohama F Marinos come up against last year's Korean FA Cup winners Suwon Samsung Bluewings. Now, Yokohama F Marinos sealed their first ever appearance in the round of 16 after a superb 4-1 win over the K-League 1 champions Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors on Matchday 5. A strong start to their campaign saw them pick up maximum points from their first 2 games earlier this year, and they've continued that form in Qatar, adding 7 points to that from their 4 matches since the restart to finish top of the group. The results in the group have also afforded them the opportunity to make several changes to their lineups during their time in Qatar, and that has allowed them to manage the game time of some of their regular starters to keep them fresh for what they'll be hoping will be a long run towards the title. Now, the F Marinos have arguably been one of the more entertaining sides to watch in the competition, with their possession-based attacking game and a high intensity to their play both on and off the ball. They usually set up in a 4-2-3-1 shape with plenty of quick movement of the ball between the lines, plenty of quick movement of the ball in the attacking areas, and they'll look to use this to destabilize the opposition's defensive block and create openings. They've taken an East Zone leading 97 shots in the competition so far with an 18% conversion rate. 43.2% of their attacks tend to come down the left side, with Thailand international left back Thirathon involved in several of their top passing combinations. Daizen Maeda's pace has also often been a weapon of choice for them on the left wing, and Teruhito Nakagawa, with his 3 goals and his intelligent movement across the forward line, is another big threat to watch out for down the right hand side. Now, this game will provide us with an intriguing clash of playing styles, with Ange Postecoglou's side averaging close to 64% possession over their 4 games in Qatar, compared to Suwon Bluewings with 46% possession across their 3 games since the restart. Suwon also set up in a different shape. They employ a 3-5-2 starting formation, with both their wing-backs Lee Ki-jae and Kim Tae-hwan involved in their build-up and their attacking phases down the flanks. The two of them also give Suwon something different in terms of their playing profile, with Lee providing width and crosses from the left, while Kim Tae-hwan at times plays as an inverted wing-back. He tends to drift infield and is encouraged to have shots at goal with his left foot. Kim Min-woo and Ko Sung-boom have also excelled for them in midfield with their quality and work rate, while Im Sang-hyuk, with his 2 ACL goals, he's filled in admirably up front in the absence of their K-League top scorer Adam Taggart. In fact, Suwon have been playing without any foreigners in their lineup in Qatar, and their manager Park Kun-ha himself, a 2-time Asian club champion as a player, has done a great job with the side since he's come in. Now, they started off their Champions League in poor form earlier this year, but since the restart they are unbeaten, and having drawn twice with Guangzhou Evergrande, they needed to beat Vissel Kobe by a 2-goal margin to continue on in the competition, and they delivered that with a 2-0 win to pip Guangzhou to a place in the round of 16, where they'll come up against Yokohama F Marinos for the first time in the competition's history. And that brings us to the end of this preview show. Hope you enjoy all the matches from the round of 16 that's coming your way very soon. Now remember, you can keep up with all the latest from the competition by following the AFC on its social and digital media channels. I'll see you again soon, but for now, it's goodbye.